Hey, this is Adelita from Magic Dirt, and I'm chatting with Penny Bag.
Awesome. So, you guys have just celebrated 25 years of your album Young and Full the Devil and decided to do a re-release, which has the most beautiful vinyl colour, by the way. I've seen it and I just went, oh, that is awesome. Love it. And you're in the midst of touring the album, and it's a monster. So, how is the tour going at the moment?
Yeah, it is a bit of a monster, a bit of a beast, this record. Yeah, thanks for saying about the vinyl colour. We really agonised about every single component of this release. So, yeah, like I remember, yeah, looking through the catalogue, and it's this nice translucent purple, which kind of matches a bit of the colour on the cover, because it's quite a colourful looking record. Like the photos are really saturated, and yeah, so the artwork means a lot to us. We take great care with that sort of stuff. But yeah, the record's great. Like we love this record. It's when Raoul first joined the band back in 1998. So he was like our third guitarist, and he's the one that stayed. And yeah, like we had a great time recording the album in the studio back in the late 90s. We were young and still evolving our songwriting and our craft, and just our studio time, we remember it very well. It was just one big party. We really partied a lot, but we worked really hard too. Like it was so much fun. And yeah, it's 25 years since it came out. It's on a double LP. It's like a high gloss finish on the artwork. It's great photos by a guy called Andy Mack, who's this really great photographer. And there's a lot of attachment to the record from fans, and the songs are really huge, really heavy, and we're really loving playing the record. It's great to be playing it to the fans. They're very excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. And can I say, I got to see you guys play at Spring Loaded this year, and just the energy, like you're absolute animals. I felt so excited watching you guys. Is that something that you typically expect to see from one of your shows, and what people see on tour?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we're animals.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Right. Yeah, we love playing loud, love the riffs, and just rocking out. We've always been like that. And yeah, just the energy off the crowd's awesome, and we love getting out on stage and just giving it our all. And the music really makes us, sort of like really feel it and move around. And yeah, we just love it. So it's in our blood, and yeah, the shows are pretty amazing. Yeah. Thankfully, we're still able to get the energy out being a bit older now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely still there. I was thoroughly impressed. I was like, holy shit, all right. Just kicked it up a notch.
Thanks, Kyle.
You're welcome. So setting the scene, it's spring of 1997. You've just walked into the recording studio and you see all you guys sitting there making this album. What advice would you give yourself, or what would you say to yourself in that moment?
Look, I think, I wouldn't change anything. I'd just say do what you're doing and have fun and just milk it and just get into it and, just be in the moment. I think we were always, in the moment. Whenever we did anything, we didn't look back and we didn't think forwards about the future. We were just living totally in the moment. So we rock up to the studio. There was a pizza joint. No, it was a Turkish bread joint downstairs that made the most amazing, we'd get hot Turkish bread with whatever on it that we all wanted. And it was so good. And there was a bottle next door as well.
Oh, shit.
Get our big, yeah, exactly. And we just had the best time because, we were living in Melbourne for the first time. We were from the country, most of us, so living in the big smoke was cool, and just discovering everything and being in your sort of mid to late 20s and sort of being smack bang in the middle of this live music capital of Australia. It was just an unreal time, and we were just like mates hanging out with each other, and we really, really loved each other and still do a lot. So it was just the best scenario you could imagine, So the advice would be, there's probably no advice to give, because we'd just be like, just do your thing, and maybe we'd get some advice from my younger self for now, saying exactly that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anything, just be yourself, do what you want to do.
Yeah. You're going to re-release this in 25 years and people are still going to fucking love you. Yeah.
That's the hope.
Yeah. Do you still resonate with the lyrics and the content of the album? Or do you sit back and listen to it again and go, what was I saying? Or what was I thinking in that moment?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Bit of both. Definitely some of the lyrics I've outgrown the sentiment.
Yeah.
As in, I understand where it was coming from, whereas at the time I was just very emotional and coming from a certain place.
Yeah.
But now I'm sort of, in my early 50s, matured and grown up a bit. So I feel like I'm looking back at my younger self and kind of, just, I get it. I get where I was coming from, and it's totally valid. But I can be the mother now. I can be that sort of nurturing, maternally sort of person that's sort of, just going, hey, this is cool. And so I'm coming from it from a mature perspective and holding space for it now, which is great. But some of the lyrics, I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have written that now.
Yeah.
They're pretty surreal. I still write dark lyrics now, but a little bit different from that space. But it's really good. I'm loving playing the songs, because I'm older and wiser, I can take it on board so much more. Yeah. But it's really fun. I didn't think it would be this fun. Yeah. It's actually really uplifting, even though it's very dark and heavy. But it's really fucking fun to play.
Yeah, yeah. It would be. It would be so cool to have that as a tool of reflection as well. It's that's kind of like your heart and soul and your diary from that time. Then to be able to relive it all these years later through a different lens, but you're still the same person. That's just got to be such an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's good. It's unexpected in a way. It's really nice, and you just don't know where you're going to go in life or what's going to happen. But here I am, and it feels really good. It's it just feels right.
Yeah. That's so cool. Don't mind me. My cat's just jumped on my lap. So you guys are still very capable of pulling crowds these days. Oh my goodness, sorry. No.
Cat's name.
Sorry?
Your cat's name.
Eddie Van Coombs. After Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he thinks he's pretty cool. I should have put him outside. I knew he was going to do this. Steals the show every time. But you guys are very capable of pulling crowds these days at your gigs. Do you find that the crowd's kind of different to what it was in the 90s and noughties, or is it much the same people, just different shows?
It feels like it's most of the same crowd, and we do know a few of the fans from way back, who we've got, we always see them and we kind of become friends. So there's a lot of people that we know in the same faces, which is awesome. Yeah. Because we didn't think we'd still be playing now, so it's even awesome just to play and get a crowd.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much the same crew, just older like us. So when we look out and they look at us, we're all just middle age going, hell yeah.
Oh, I love that.
A bit older, we've been through a fair bit in our lives, a lot of us, But we do get really young people to our shows. We get a certain contingent, and they're in their early 20s, but just, over because it's not under 18. So just as soon as they turn 18, they come to the show. So
That's cool.
Really awesome to see really a lot of younger faces, and then new faces, of all different ages that the sprinkling that will come to shows. And oh wow, brand new fans. Yeah. So we're still getting brand new fans who've never heard of us, and suddenly they're huge. We've got these two guys, they're awesome, Pete and Craig, and they've just discovered Magic Dirt.
Yeah.
And they're from Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
And they've travelled to so many shows of ours, down to Victoria, Tassie, New South Wales, and they pop up and they're always there at the front, and they're awesome. So they only came on board not that long ago. So we get pretty awesome fans.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I'd live for that.
Good.
But there they
Yeah,
are.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Love it. So looking back over your career, you really did get that golden era of music in Australia, which is really cool. Like, what's a story that really stands back that you can share from back in the day?
Oh, Kyra, so many stories. I mean,
I'd love to pick your
So-
brain.
so many stories. But there's a caveat. So many lost brain cells. This is very hard to recall. It's all this blur of awesomeness. It's like
Yeah.
being on the road, like, being on the road a lot, traveling a lot. Like the golden age was we were out on the road like most of the year.
Yeah.
Whereas it's different now. It's a bit more strategic and
Mm-hmm.
not as hectic. And just doing so many festivals.
Yeah.
And then our shows, and it's just all this blur of just the most amazing, incredible time to be alive and to be in a band with your mates traveling around. But I think the classic. I always go to the big day out sort of
Yeah.
memories because it's pretty impressive, and huge festival.
Yeah.
We met a lot of famous musos, artists like Iggy Pop. I remember meeting Iggy Pop briefly. He was sitting next to Tex Perkins, and I just went, because I know Tex really well, and Tex was like, ads! And I came over, and as I came over, I was like, oh fuck, that's Iggy Pop sitting right next to Tex.
How cool! How cool!
I think I just said, hey Iggy, like what? Do I call you Iggy? I don't know.
Oh,
And he
love
was
it.
smiled and said, hey, lovely. And then one time backstage at Big Day Out, like they would have these spa bars, like these big outdoor spas.
Yeah.
I know. So you finish your show and you jump in the spas, and I remember being in one with like Grinspoon, Jebediah, Magic Dirt. There's a whole bunch of us, maybe she had, and we were just sitting there, drinking it, whatever we were drinking. And then Joe Strummer from the Clash walks past, and Raoul goes, Joe! Like, how are you doing? And then Joe Strummer comes over and just puts his elbow on the spar and goes, hey guys.
God,
He's so nice. He was the nicest guy.
that's ridiculous.
Like that, like
Yeah.
meeting Shelley Manson from Garbage and having a chat to her about PJ Harvey, and it's like, but it was normal.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's kind of like you freak out because they're huge stars, but then when it always happens, you meet them and they're so lovely, and you just have a chat and you're like, hey Shirley, hey Iggy, hey, just like, what's the guy from the White Stripes name? Jack White.
Jack White, yeah.
Yeah, I remember once I met the lead singer from Coldplay, Chris Martin, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And he was in a trailer, and I got introduced to him, and he was so nice. He's like, a lot of, I don't want to say hi to the stars because I just don't want to bother them, but I get introduced, so it's like, hi. And he's like, oh, hi, and had a chat with me. And yeah, so, and just a lot of funny shit, like practical jokes we used to pull, and, like Grinspoon at the Big Day Out in Rowell, and our drummer decided to go out completely naked. That would so not fly today, but back then,
I love it.
funny. Like that, and it was funny.
That's so good.
It was great. So many stories. Like, have you got, hours?
Yeah.
Like, really
it's
good,
too good.
memories.
And it would just all blur into one, and you're like, did that happen then or there? Or did that happen together? Or
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And just, lots of memories of just hanging with fans, some great after show parties at our own shows, and fans coming back to our comm, and just some of the best parties, yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, couldn't even imagine. Like, you have just had a ball.
Yeah.
And there wasn't
Had a
social
ball.
media around, so you really could get away with doing some shit.
Oh my god, yeah, like, I'm so glad I went through the day of no phones, no social media. I mean, we used to drive around and guess where the venues were. We didn't even have
Far out.
GPS, we didn't have maps, like, we didn't even have the street maps, we just guess, and, pre-fax even, we used to tour around. But it was so much more relaxed back then, and you were really living in life rather than sort of, virtually a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, we left no stone unturned in terms of doing what we love and giving it our all. Like, absolutely 100,000% of
Yeah.
everything we had.
Yeah.
Personally, privately, and artistically, all our energy.
Yep. And I can see you still do that to this day. So it's really cool. That's amazing.
We live for it. Yeah.
Do you indulge in your old Channel V and recovery clips? I dived into them last week. I had a look through them. As soon as I got the email from you guys, I was like, oh, went back, had a look. I was like, oh, fuck, that's just so cool, isn't it? Do you sit there and go through them or nah?
I don't know, but sometimes I do. When I have to dig stuff out for something. So I do come across that stuff, and I'm really proud when I see those things.
For sure.
Really great footage, and it's great to have those documents. Especially Channel B, we were really close with. They just really loved us, so they'd always invite us to things, and we'd do their national tours and things like that. Yeah, nice. So we do have a lot of footage that they've got of us, which we're really thankful for.
Yeah.
So it looks really good. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of smack bang in the middle of our major label time with Warner, so we looked really good. We had all the clothes. I had a good haircut. It was very glossy, and it just. But that was a really great time with that Channel B time. That there was a real peak, real golden age of music TV. And Channel B were a massive part of that, and they were such great people.
Yeah.
And Jagger was Jagger from Channel B was a really good mate, and we used to do a lot of live interviews and things like that with him, and then of course Yumi and Andrew and all the crew, so great. Such a great time.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so good to go back and look at it all. Just even the camera work, everything. It's just, I don't know, it's such a timestamp.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It is. And they used to love us. They'd be like, oh, we love you guys because you move around a lot. And they love action shots.
Yeah.
And we're like, cool.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Do you have any Aussie bands that have caught your attention these days that you're kind of rooting for?
Yeah. Oh, there's a band called Loose Content.
Yep.
From Byron.
Cool.
They're like a three-piece with a girl, singer, bass player, and the guitarist is immaculate. The drummer is great. Miller is the name of the girl, but yeah, it's Loose Content.
Okay.
You've got to check them out.
Yeah,
They're
awesome.
Incredible. Yeah. And I really love there's a folk duo in Melbourne. They're not heavy though, so it might not suit this audience, but they're called Charm of Finches. They're fantastic sisters. They're doing really big things at the moment. But there's a Sydney band also, Keith Hamlin, who used to play in Midget, three-piece really heavy band from Brisbane back in the day. Keith, the bass player from Midget, is in a new band called No Cake.
Okay.
Like no cake. They're doing awesome stuff. They've just started to come up now, and they're releasing stuff, and they're incredible. Grinding Eyes from Sydney are great. Brisbane always churns out awesome music as well. And I like a bit of the poppier side of what's coming out of Brisbane. Maybe they're not together anymore. I've got old brains to take too long to access information.
You just rattled off 4 or 5. I'm impressed.
There's also Kelly Lloyd from Scream Feeder.
Yeah.
Scream Feeder put out, I mean, they're not new, but...
got their Frisbee, actually, from Spring Loaded.
Yeah, so they put out their record Five Rings a little while back, which I love. And Kelly Lloyd does solo stuff. She's amazing. But yeah, there's always good stuff coming out of Brisbane. I don't know what's in the water up there, but there's always something good.
Yeah, that's why I've moved down here, to get into it and immerse myself into it. There's not much going on in Cairns, so it's been eye-opening, to say the least. Yeah.
Oh, Cairns. Yeah.
It's its own little world up there, I tell you.
Yeah. We hope to get up there, actually. We haven't got Cairns on our tour at the moment, but it is one place we've got on our wish list to go up north. FNQ, get up to Cairns, because we do get some requests from people up there, fans.
God.
But
Don't go in summer. Not the way you guys perform. Woo! It is hot.
Yeah. Well, I've been there, done that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
love it.
Thank you for doing that.
All right, so you guys have got Byron Bay coming up this coming weekend, so next week at the Northern, and then you're heading up to Brisbane to play the second at the Zoo, and then you're heading back down to the coast. So it's kind of choppy and changey. Are you getting to do any of the nice coastal drives, or are you doing flights all the way?
We're driving some of the way. I
Yeah.
hate flying, so
Yeah.
I'm always putting my hand up to drive with you then with
Oh,
with the
nice.
crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a bit of flying and driving. Obviously, we're not driving up to Brizzy, Queensland. We're flying, but we'll get to drive to Byron. It'll be nice, and driving back there. And we do a few little drives as much as we can to see
Yeah.
the countryside and see the coast.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice. We're doing a long drive to Adelaide, so that'll be fun.
Oh,
It's pretty
nice.
interesting terrain
Yeah.
on the way there. But
Yeah.
really looking forward to Byron because we haven't played there since the 2000s.
Oh, wow.
Like it's been over nearly, like definitely a decade since we've been there. And it used to be called the Great Northern, but now it's called the Northern.
Yep.
That was our place. We played there all the time.
Oh,
so
cool.
I cannot wait to get back there.
Yeah.
All the nostalgia, and
Yeah.
feel on it. Get to stay upstairs, just play the gig and just roll
Yeah.
into bed
Perfect.
after a few drinks,
Yep.
Can't wait. And the Zoo is our spiritual home. Like
Mhm.
we pretty much have always played the Zoo. Love it. I just cannot wait. Like Queensland for me is one of my favourite places to play, especially Brizzy.
Awesome. That's good. Yeah, the Zoo's a bloody good spot. And smack bang in the middle of
Yeah.
everything as well. It's just, it's a great venue. And versatile.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it holds so many memories, and we've got our mate 6 Foot Hick who are kind of, doing a special gig support for us for this show because
Cool.
they don't play much at the moment, so they're getting together for this, and Loose Content are actually supporting us in Brisbane as well as Byron.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah. Awesome.
that's we love them. They're going to be great, and also Blush are supporting us in Byron too. All girl punk sort of punk pop band.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
So this is a
Yeah.
silly one. I've obviously been watching you for quite a long time, and I'm convinced that you're part vampire. I don't know if you age, and I need to know, is there some secret that I need to know about, or what is this? I don't get it. Every time I see you, I'm like, what?
Oh, that's very nice of you to say, but I will age shortly, don't worry. I think I've got a little bit left in the tank, but then I'm
love
sure
it.
I'm going to start to look old. But it can't be helped, and it's something that, I don't know, like getting older and aging, it can be tough on the body and the mind, but I have to try and stay as positive as I can because it's all downhill from here. Like there's no, it's not going to get any better. Like this is it. But I'm interested to see how things are going to go with how I look as I age and I do what I do.
Yep.
Because I can sometimes feel self-conscious about, looks and, everyone wants to
Of
look
course.
good.
Yeah.
But thanks for saying that. I would say it's a combination of makeup, good lighting, making a good angle. But some days I look, we all have bad days.
Oh, I reckon you look bloody great. If I get to your age and I'm still kicking around looking like that, I'll be happy.
You're very kind.
Oh,
Thank
love it.
you.
All right. So I think that's pretty much all I've got. I know that people can jump onto magicdirt.com to order a copy of your beautiful vinyl or CD, and you've got heaps of merch on there as well, and grab some tickets and come see some of your shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so nice to meet you. I've been really looking forward to this. It's been awesome.
You too, Kyra.